All right, here we are. Welcome back to yet another episode. The question I'm going to be asking for today is, what mountains do you see yourself climbing? And what mountains are actually worth the climb? What mountains have we been climbing forever that seemingly just don't ever seem to get us to the top, or we feel like we've been climbing it forever and ever and ever, and we're still not even at the top, or we're still stuck? And I've been thinking a lot about this question. I just came down actually from one of the mountains we just climbed at the retreat. There's a huge one. If you go to Cimarron Ranch down in the town of Tennecingo, in the back of the retreat, they have an entire mountain that they own, and you get to climb to the top of, have the ceremonies, and be able to sit up there and just reflect. And we ended up being up there, I think it was Friday, it was July 25th, and it was at a time when 6 of the planets all came into a line. And so we did a huge bonfire just under the stars on the side of the mountain, and it was so beautiful, and the stars in the sky were so clear. Honestly, it seemed like you could see just about almost every planet. When you put our Skynet and the Sky app, you could vividly see each of the planets just kind of right there. So it was, these moments are just crazy. But that's what this entire episode is all about, is, asking ourselves. And, welcome to the episode. My name is Brian Wright, and this is my journey of being able to find peace. And I'm super excited, as always, to be able to bring you along, to be able to listen to me, just share my stories, share my revelations, share my thoughts and ideas along the way as I've been traveling this entire year creating the docuseries. So welcome to the channel, and welcome to the episode. And how many mountains are we climbing, or what mountain do we see ourselves climbing? And that question, I've been very blessed and fortunate to have climbed 5 mountains now this year, or last year into this year. And I continue to keep thinking, what's next? Where do we go? And is this worth the climb? Is this worth the prep and, the energy and the effort? How many of us could honestly ask ourselves where we're at and what we're doing, and the effort and the energy and the climb that we've been putting into where we're at? Is it bearing fruit to the degree as to where we're feeling, satisfied, we're feeling value, we're feeling completely fulfilled to a degree as to where we do feel like we're adding the most purpose, we do feel like we're adding, our passion and value into everything that we're taking on and doing. And each one of these challenges, each one of these things that I've been doing, I continually have to stop, slow down, and reflect upon, where I'm at. And is this continually worth the time, energy, effort? Is the climb going to be worth the view? Or how many times do we make it to the tip top, and as everybody talks about, you look across and all you see is the next mountain and you want to just get up and get after it right away? Do we feel invigorated enough after achieving and getting to the top to continue to keep going? Or do we make it to the top and we just still feel like we're not satisfied, or we feel like we're just, it hasn't, and when I talk about that a lot too, I always think about, how we have these set ideas, we have these set plans, or we have these things that are just put before us, family companies, or, this is what my parents did, this is what my family did. Everybody's cops, my whole family, my dad, my uncle, everybody else was cops, so I was going to be a cop. All of that was laid out for me. So how many times when it comes to climbing those mountains are we just taking the steps or the trail that's already been paved for us, or we're just walking, climbing, or you go for that promotion, you work your butt off and you get to the top tier rung where you've always wanted to be, or you felt like that's where I was meant to be. You're just checking off all the steps and you're doing all the things and playing by all the rules, and you get to that top. Is it everything you wished, wanted, and hoped for? Or, or is it you look back and you're just like, wow, how did I get here? Or like, this isn't what I wanted to do, or this wasn't my plan, this wasn't my path. Are we at that top of the mountain now looking down going, what the heck? What did I just do climbing all this time? Or, are we still trying to scale? Are we still trying to get to the top, where we're just grinding and grinding and grinding, and we feel like we're not even anywhere halfway near to the top, or we keep looking up and that peak just seems further and further away? Or, it's just like something or another keeps kicking you further back down, like a little avalanche or a rock slide or a mudslide or something or another happens to the degree as to where we just keep following our ways back down. Do we feel like that's where we're at, or do we feel like we've been stuck for a while? And how do we, reevaluate, revamp, and try to figure out a different path, figure out a different route, figure out maybe do I go back down and start over, or do I, start blazing a different trail upwards instead of going this way? So all of these questions, I've been continually asking myself, and I'm trying to build out this third pillar of my business, of the company. I keep using the analogy that right now, the places in hurricane weather where they're built on the big old platforms with the big pillars and the big beams, and I feel like I've built out two really good platforms for my business to stand on, but it's still only two things, and I still need two more to really be able to build out, to get it sustainable to where no matter what hurricane comes along, it's going to be able to sustain or weather any storm or anything else. But I always ask myself, is this the right way to build it out? Is this the right direction to be able to have this built upon? Because there's always those doubts. And how do we reassure ourselves to the degree as to where we can see that vision crystal clear enough as to where we know that the climb is worth it, and that we know that by putting in this energy and effort, it is going to bear fruit, and it is, keeping us invigorated instead of feeling exhausted, beaten down, or like overwhelmed. Every step we take, we feel, more passionate. We feel like ready for it. We wake up and we're like, yes, I get to climb higher. I get to climb higher. I get to go further. I get to do these things. So what mountains do you see yourself taking on, or challenges do you see yourself encountering? Where do you see yourself in life? Have you already succeeded in climbing the mountains that you wanted? Have you made it to the top? Are you feeling, excited? Have you just accomplished a challenge? I always ask. So let us like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those things. But as a community, I really want to be able to hear from you all, to know your successes, maybe your downfalls, maybe you've been stuck on that mountain, maybe we're climbing the wrong mountain, maybe it wasn't the mountain we really wanted to climb, and we're just kind of sitting here just and it's not bad. You get to the top and you have everything you need. You're not hurting. You're making a good, you're making good money. You're going on vacations. You're doing all these things, right? So like, you worked your way to that level of success, and it's amazing. But is it fulfilling? Is it everything you had hoped for? Is it the dream that you had set out for? Is it that mountain that was yours to create, or was it there for you? All these different questions. I really want to hear from you all, where we feel like you're at, or some of the successes, or some of the challenges, some of the mudslides, some of the downfalls, and what keeps you going, what keeps you climbing, what keeps you invigorated to keep moving up that mountainside. And what mountains do you want to challenge or see yourself taking on? Is there something you have your eyes set on at the moment that you feel like you're ready to take on that climb, you're ready to take on that challenge next? So let me know down below. And yeah, thanks for listening on in. I'm super excited to continue to bring you on my journey, and just listening to some of my thoughts, rants, and ideas as they come along. So all right, y'all, to the continued journey of finding peace. Here we go.